How you doing? Welcome back to Joe Stunner Boxing. If you're new to the channel and you could subscribe, punch the subscribe button. That would be a massive help to me. I would appreciate that. Or like the video, share the video, whatever. If you like it, you like it. If not, there's always that dislike button. And in life, choice is everything. Right, Artur Beterbiev. I've heard it pronounced several different ways. He moves to 17 wins, 17 knockouts in 17 fights by knocking out, it was a 10 count, Marcus Browne in 9 rounds. And I don't think that the fact that Beterbiev won is surprising to most. I picked him to win. I thought Browne might fiddle his way to the end of the fight and lose a wide decision, but he didn't come close to it. So first 2 rounds, Beterbiev, whatever you want to call him, he was just having a look, really. Browne was circling him, looked very tentative, but was throwing punches, trying to be, on the front foot, trying to be a little bit proactive, but did look a little bit apprehensive. Moved around. Beterbiev just had a look at him. Okay, is this what you got? Oh, this is the way you want to do it? Okay. Browne circling, stayed in the centre of the ring, didn't get on the ropes at any point. I gave him the first 2 rounds. But then in the 3rd round, Beterbiev started to let his hands go. Especially in the last minute, certainly the last 30 seconds of that round. They were the first signs that, okay, I've had a look at you, now I'm going to go to work. A lot of these Eastern European fighters do this. They have a look at the opponent, try and check the rhythm out, see what they've got, see the type of style of fight that they're offering, and then they come into their own, find their own rhythm, find the range, and go to work with their own style, their own game plan. In the 3rd round, like I say, in the 3rd round, Beterbiev let his hands go a bit more. Marcus Browne wasn't hurt. And then I think it was the 4th round, there was a big clash of heads, and Browne had a cut over his right eye, which was minor. But Beterbiev had a big sort of gash on the forehead, nowhere near as bad as Badu Jack's when, remember that axe wound that he had in the centre of his head? I think he's still got a big scar there. Do you remember that fight? And he carried on to the end. It was amazing. But this was not as bad as that, but there was blood everywhere. Beterbiev looked irritated, slightly irked. He looked at the referee and, what's going on here? And if anything, that wound gave him more motivation. It made him more urgent. So in the 5th round, in the last 30 seconds, he really put the heat on Browne. He got Browne on the ropes. Browne had slowed up because of not just the physical pressure, but the mental pressure that is put on any fighter when you've got a guy stalking them and he's got heavy hands. So Beterbiev got Browne on the ropes, last 30 seconds of the 5th round, unloaded. Body to head, head to body, very good level of accuracy. And for the first time, the writing was on the wall. You thought, okay, Browne's going to have to come back in the next round and do some serious damage, or make a statement, or land a punch, your best punch, to say, I'm still here and you haven't got the better of me, not mentally anyway. In the 6th round, though, the last minute of the round, it seemed to me that like Beterbiev, as the rounds go on, starts his work earlier. So in the 5th round, it was the last 30 seconds of the fight, 30 seconds of the round, where he started to go to work. In the 6th round, it was the last minute, and he really started to beat up Browne. Not just beat him, but beat him up. Because a fighter can be being beaten, as to say that they're behind on points, but they still got a chance. But when they're being beaten up, then things start to look very ominous indeed, because you're having your strength sapped out of you, the will to win. You just seem to be in a lot of trouble, and it's kind of demoralising being beaten up, not just beaten, but beaten up. But that's exactly what Beterbiev was doing to Browne. So the last minute of the 6th round was all Beterbiev, and Browne looked shaken. I think he finished it with, was it a big right hand, or was that in the 5th round? Anyway, in the 7th round, more of the same, and in fact, a big right hand floored Browne from Beterbiev. Bang, right on the button. Again, he's mixing the punches up, body to head to body, really sort of railing against Browne, making him, not giving him a chance to do anything, not giving him a chance to punch between punches, to time him or anything. This was a beating. And down goes Browne, gets up at 8, carries on. In the 8th round, it was a bit of a better one for Browne, although he was still losing. He spent less time on the ropes. I think he realised, if I'm on the ropes, I'm in trouble. So he kind of tried to get back to circling and using the middle of the ring. And the moment he got to the periphery of the ring, he was jumping away. But Beterbiev was still stalking, and putting that mental pressure on as well as the physical pressure. But the 8th was a better round for Browne. It all unravelled in the 9th. Beterbiev moved up a gear. He'd been gradually, very slowly going through those gears. But in the 9th, he thought, OK, I'm going to finish it now. That was the impression I got. He thought, OK, enough's enough. Again, covered in blood. That must have acted as some sort of, I don't know, maybe a sort of supercharge for him, where he suddenly thought, OK, enough's enough. I'm tired of getting covered in blood. This blood's going everywhere. No. In the 9th round, he put it on Browne and just unloaded his entire arsenal. Browne couldn't go anywhere. He couldn't get off the ropes. He couldn't resist. He couldn't counterpunch. He couldn't fire back. He goes down from a left hook to the body. Or was it a left hook? It was definitely to the body. He goes down. He's conscious. He knows what's going on. He's looking at the referee, and he just sits out the count, or kneels out the count. And totally demoralised, totally beaten up. So that's really all she wrote. I think the writing had been on the wall from, like I say, about the end of the 5th round, that Browne was not going to win this fight. And he sort of flattered to deceive in the first 2 rounds. But Beterbiev, I think it's fair to say that, reports of his demise have been slightly exaggerated. He still looked pretty useful against a, what would you call Browne? B plus fighter? Browne looked good. He beat Badou Jack. Was that 2018 or 2019? Anyway, he scored a unanimous decision over Badou Jack. And then he lost to Jean Pascal, which was a bad win because he was on the floor 3 times. Once in the 5th, twice in the 7th, I want to say. And it was a technical decision, 8-round decision. And he lost to Jean Pascal. But Pascal was way past his best. And it has enjoyed a sort of Indian summer of a career, late in his career. But so Browne was, you could argue Browne was sort of damaged goods. That was 2 years ago. He's had an interim run around fight with Denis Grachev, I think it was, won an 8-round decision, but no real work since Jean Pascal, and he lost that fight. So I suppose coming in, it was definitely not the best preparation to fight someone like Beterbiev. But Beterbiev did what he had to do. He didn't look great in his previous fight, but in this one, again, I think he's got a lot left. And he has that perfect record, 17 wins, 17 knockouts in 17 fights. So, did you see the fight? Grab it while you can. If not, it's on YouTube, and they'll probably take it down like they always do, but have a look at it. What did you think? Leave your comments below. If you could subscribe to the channel. Subscribe, please. It's Christmas. Like the video. Dislike the video. But whatever you do, have a good weekend. Take care. I'll speak to you soon. Bye-bye.